Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
All right, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 0xab, ADB. It's the 172nd episode. Reminder, nothing on the show is financial advice. And stay tuned after all of the updates for our weekly AMA. This week on Number Go Up, death to Number Go Up. Essentially, corruption permeated the entire industry, because all of you all only want to see number go up. It's kind of pointless, and if you chase after that crap, this is what you get. So anyway, let's hope that all stops, and maybe all the people that only care about that will go away to Wall Street, where they belong. So first update, Super Happy Dragon Luckies, Dragonchain lot distribution for last week, 470 lot created. There were 6 questions or topics who received 78 lot each. There were no featured posts. The host received 78 lot, and Dragonchain received 157 lot. For Den.Social updates, we had the November 2022 LCP results just in before the show started. The number 1 in unique voters was Books, with 3.3 million lore committed, proposed by Decent Crypto in March of 2022. The number 5 by lore committed proposal with 771,000 lore committed, and 32 unique voters was Bagholders Unite. We've been waiting for that one for a while, I think. Proposed by Brano in April of 2022. And the number 13 in lore committed with 453,000 lore and 34 unique voters was Alpha, proposed by Jason in April of 2022. Jason is a fan favorite. He always has good stuff. And let's go to Coffee with Den. Everyone who participates in the show will earn Coffee with Den lot every week, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Do join. I need to start joining. Maybe I can pop in and try to troll them or something. Also, the DENDAO weekly meeting, which is a live call. It's not a show. It's just a meeting. See the post in the DENDAO lair. It's Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. There is a link to join live. There's also an agenda which is posted, so you can leave suggestions for anything that should be added to the agenda, any questions, comments. You're welcome also to join to cover anything about DEN, discussion, questions, ideas, anything that might fit. It's a meeting, not a show, so don't be shy. We don't require you to have a camera on either, so you can very easily participate and maintain whatever anonymity you might want to maintain. Okay, then we're going to the World Blockchain Roundtable updates. So make sure first of all, that you watch and share last week's episode, which was on FTX and the election, essentially current events, because the FTX thing was such a big event with so much fast-moving news. The more views it gets in the first week, the more lot all of the participants will get. It is worth a watch. There's a lot of interesting info in it, and there's, of course, a lot going on with that subject. This week, episode 78 will air on November 10th. The topic is Let's Make a Video Game. So it's essentially about blockchain and video games and anything related, either games that are already out there or games that should be out there. And I think the idea was to try to come up with ideas for an ideal game for blockchain. So should be fun topic, very interesting. I'll be there unless I can't be, and please join if you can. Also, there is a DAO vote for the roundtable for themes for December. There are a bunch of good choices in there, and essentially the top, I think there are 4 weeks in December. The top, there are 5 weeks in December. 5 weeks in December from the judges. So the top 5 topics per this DAO vote will be the ordered shows for the week. We might want to call a change if the Santa Claus one is in there at all. If it's in the top 5, that maybe we try to get it around Christmas. And I can't remember if we're moving the Christmas date. I don't know what it lands on, what date Christmas is on. So we'll figure that as well. We'll make sure everybody knows so that it's easy for all of the roundtable to join, so it's not too close to the day, the holiday. Okay, watch it this Thursday, 3 p.m. UTC, 10 a.m. Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific. Okay, let's see here. That's all the updates. So AMA right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
Okay, so we're going to go this three question AMA this week. I think we're going to answer all of them anyway, because that went pretty quick, and there were some good questions even in the lower halves, below the fold. The first 3, the top 3 will be the only that get credit, though, I think, so that the rules hold. So anyway, first a question is auctions. Several questions. So on the same topic about Den and OpenSea, you're only allowed one question, but we'll see how this goes. How often is the ownership information of the lair image updated? Is it automatic or manual? In the sense of lot exchange, how will the U.S. regulation affect such transactions within DEN in 2022? It is already impossible for the exchange function to be available by 2023. Okay, so I'll answer all these. You get credit for one. Ownership of the lair image. If you're talking about what's on OpenSea, this could have changed in the past many months. I don't know. I know when we put it up there, OpenSea, the interaction on this and other projects that I've noticed, I would call it flaky as a developer, as a software person, but some of it's understandable. It's pulling stuff from chain, and it has to be scalable and as efficient as possible. So it doesn't do updates. That is, OpenSea doesn't do updates as often as many people would like. So when I say updates, not to their software, I mean to the live data and what they are showing. So there is some level of there's a gap in timing there that we can't control. If I remember correctly, there might be ways that you can influence it. Like, say, if, for example, on some video-based NFTs, a lot of times they won't update unless they're extremely active. So if they're newly minted and it's a video, it won't even show. So once enough people go there and try to view it, then their algorithm will say, oh, enough people want to see this. Let's go and actually spend the time and network resources to pull it down onto the server to serve it out. I don't know. And about this, it's metadata. It should be faster than that. There are some things on our side as well where we are watching transactions on that contract to see when they move. And truly, oftentimes, there is flakiness. And, generally, as far as things like this, Ethereum sucks for scalability and actually doing things as you would expect, at least as per normal software. But we do the best we can, and I think we have two different types of triggers in there for movements. One which is supposed to happen live, and one that happens maybe nightly. I can't remember how often we check, and we check differently on different contracts. So anyway, hopefully that is a good. I will answer the last one too. I don't know about U.S. regulation. Frankly, nobody knows about the secret U.S. regulation unless you are a senator's nephew or something. There's no way to really know if something will be considered verboten or not. So, we do the best we can, as we have always. The assumption is for the internals that we would need to consult an attorney to know how to build software, which is one of the stupidest things in the world. Thank you, America. Thank you, regulators. But and I think that's maybe intentional. Maybe the big white shoe law firms, as part of their efforts, maybe informally lobby to make sure that we have to go to these big firms to know what the hell to do as software developers. Again, clown world. But one way or another, I think it is best to say that if we find the right legal way to do it, and I think there are several that should fit into existing models in traditional world, on how to sell a thing, right? But we'll see. So anyway, hopefully it happens. Yes, good question. Thank you. Crypto enthusiast. So he points to an Elon Musk quote where with everything going on in the crypto space, I ran across something interesting. I know Joe's the only one that can answer. Apparently, Elon thinks that a decentralized blockchain Twitter isn't possible. My question is, does Elon have a point, or is he just misinformed? I would say on this particular point, I don't know that he's misinformed. It depends upon a lot of it's semantics and a question of scope or scope of understanding, that I would say definitely a decentralized Twitter is possible. I would say a lot of it depends upon how you measure decentralized. Do you give a shit about the data itself being decentralized, or do you care about the proof? Frankly, I care about the proof more than the data, because if it's an important topic, let's say it's a tweet from a senator or from Elon himself, it would be important enough for everyone to store it. And yes, you could put every tweet into a torrent, and or you could do various other things to decentralize it. But primarily for scalability, so that everything could be eligible for that decentralization, the proof should be decentralized. That's what we do with, if you reply to any tweet with eternalize this, you can see that it immediately puts it on chain. It ends up being stored, the proof and the data itself stored all the way to Ethereum and Bitcoin. And you could add any other chain in there if you would want. Doge would be a good candidate. But the point is, the proof is there, and I can save this and later show this is exactly the event that happened. I can show all the data that was there, the time, essentially prove the time and the data with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's what we do on DEN with every single post, every single message, every single vote. It's all decentralized. Now, the data itself isn't in as much as DEN is hosting it, but anybody can store that data. So that's some of the beauty that, if you want to store everything I post on DEN, you're free to do it, and the proof is there. So I think he's wrong about this, but mostly it's wrong because he is so used to the religion of the maximalists that everything is an absolute and there's only one way to decentralize, which is bullshit, in my opinion. So anyway, great question. Thank you. Next question, Baba Rafiq. Phil Abraham is still working with Dragonchain, question mark. Answer was posted by Alexons. Thank you for that. Yeah, he is no longer, well, he is working with Dragonchain as sales, but he is no longer in the role that he was on the board and with a C-level title. So, and we posted that shortly after it happened. So, okay, next, y'all weird. How does one go about setting up and running an L5 node? Is this possible? As far as I understand, there are only 3 L5 currently running. Is this by design? Currently, we are running Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance Smart Chain. In fact, one of our customers sponsored the Binance Smart Chain. So they essentially paid for the integration and they pay for the ongoing operation of that node to be, they pay the fees to Binance Smart Chain. The reason it is by design somewhat, although it's an open-ended design, that it's notably more expensive to run one of those nodes, an L5 node, because you essentially have to either maintain, and we've gone back and forth to having farmed out Bitcoin or Ethereum nodes to having them in-house. You have more maintenance in-house and it's a bigger footprint, but if you farm it out, you're paying for it. So, it kind of depends upon what you want to do. Right now, we are farming out one of them, 2 of them, and one of them is running in-house. I won't tell you which for operational security reasons, but it is possible. If you came to us and said, hey, I would love to run Dogecoin. It's like, say, I'd love to see Doge myself. I'd love to see Litecoin myself because it's a different algorithm than Bitcoin. I would love to see Ripple myself. And I guess it's a matter of business interest. If somebody really wants to do it and can put the resources, either their own time or if it costs something or if there are fees to bear, then they could run that L5 and have, 1 of 4, right? If someone would want to sponsor the Bitcoin or Ethereum ones, for example, we would be open and willing to discuss that. You'd have to be a member in good standing. I don't know. We don't have a process for it, but it would be discussed. I'd be willing to open it. This is, by the way, part of the long-term strategy that whole network, DragonNet, would be more of a what do I want to say, a federation than it is. We have 2 white label contracts, one of which is already active, that essentially still use DragonNet, but they are creating their own, essentially a launching platform for their own customers. So that's part of the federation. That in the end, there might be a way to federate the entirety of the network. And we've been slowed down a lot by regulations and lack of clarity on the regulations for a long time, which has affected that as well. So good question, though. Let us know if you have any ideas, anyone. Next, Kratos, God of Boy. Any thoughts on the LBC ruling and what it could mean for Dragonchain's case? By the way, I'm not tracking. I can't remember which one was the third question. I think we're through the 3, but either way. So on the LBC ruling, I'm not an attorney, thankfully, but good gosh, I think maybe I should maybe I should go and do that. I'd probably be more efficient and uh, who knows? Who knows? Because a lot of the lawyers don't understand the technology, and it becomes very hard to do work where it shouldn't be. So anyway, related to the LBC ruling, it is our understanding that they have a very different case, both on the complaint from the SEC as well as their response and their argument, their case, than what we have. It's also very different than what Ripple has. So I'm going to sum it up, my understanding. So bear with me and forgive me for any inaccuracies here. That, and this is a layman's understanding of it, that the LBC case was related to an argument on, I'm blanking on it now. See, right as I needed to say it. Fair notice. And the Ripple case is focused on what would essentially be the fact that they, and I don't know how you'd lay it, but it's a Howey related argument that at least one of the stipulations of the Howey test were not met by Ripple, and that is of a contract, the actual securities sale contract, which means they have responsibilities after the fact to the holders of what would then be a security. But since that contract does not exist, that is, Ripple, the company, has no obligation to any XRP holder whatsoever. It can't pass the Howey test and therefore cannot be a security. And it's a pretty simple argument, and I think pretty brilliant from what I've read. Again, layperson. And of that, I don't know enough about the fair notice argument of library, but of LBC library. But I do know that this Howey test argument we could use. My understanding. You can look at our April paper, and soon. I don't know the date that it will come out there, but soon you will see our response to the SEC complaint, most recent. And in it, you're going to see both constitutional arguments, Howey test arguments, and direct arguments of false statements and evidence by the regulators. So we'll have all that wrapped up, and you can kind of judge. But I don't think that the LBC ruling, which is unfortunate, and I would disagree from what I know of the ruling, that they just assumed everything's a security, and they're not even thinking about, as many have commented, that if the LBC ruling stands, theoretically they could go after damn near anything. This pencil here, there are limited numbers of these pencils, and I could, as seen on YouTube, I could sell this pin. It's a pin. I could sell this pin for more than I purchased it. And you can even watch certain movies where sell me this pin. Why is it worth more, right? It's a security, as far because I could have bought it knowing that there's going to be a shortage of pins. Masks. How many people bought masks in advance of the COVID-19 lockdowns, knowing that they're going to be required, knowing that they were going to be worth 50 times what they were when they purchased them, and that there are none other left? Are those masks securities? Did the CDC openly market masks as securities? Is that not an issue? Tons of crazy stuff like that. The potential result, but of course they can lie and cheat and do whatever they want as long as it isn't one of their own people. Okay, next, Dragon Knight. Thanks for that question. That's good, Carlos. Any updates or progress around enterprise token systems that you can share? None that I can share, at least not in name. We are making excellent progress with one project that it's been a long time running, and they're hoping for something early in the year for a release. We'll see how that goes. And another project that they're pivoting to a couple of things, but it's, in my opinion, extremely exciting because it has an actual real use, legitimate use of identity systems with blockchain, and in ways that are very unique, and of course make it really hard to describe to people, but super interesting stuff. I hope it's all good. I think that's, let's see here. I think we have one more, which was tagged as abusive. So we'll just skip that because it's typical troll. And I want to answer that. Okay. All right. That is all of the questions. Thanks. Great AMA. We do it every week. And I don't know. The crypto world is so crazy. Appreciate all of you that have stuck around and keep doing what we know that we all need to do. There's a lot going on, and it's crazy that they're going to end up attacking the entire, I would say, technology, not even industry, the technology, because they're scared of it, and because enough people have fallen for the bullshit number go up stuff. Like Celsius, you talk Alameda, you talk, all this stuff that's just all the regular Wall Street stuff that comes in and tries to pollute the market. And I'm going to say, and you guys all fall for it. And I know it's not all of you guys, but the ones that will be annoyed, it's them. Anyway, okay. So we will now go to featured content, one from Distant, how lore staking farming calculations work. So we appreciate this because there were some questions, and Distant went to answer them. And there are still a couple of remaining open questions on tracking the 2021 unused portion, if that was applied. So we still have to look that up. But either way, he has a description of how everything is calculated and run down. Very valuable info, staking and farming. So it's good stuff. Go check that out, and ask any questions in there as well, because that would be a great place to have an open discussion about it. Anything that matters in there. Next, we will go to Dragonchain.store for merch. Make sure you take advantage of the Million Matter behavior rewards. 10% off until November 30th with the coupon code million-MTR, Million Matter merch. And it's essentially the Matter icon. We probably should do the energy one and the lot one and the lore one as well at some point. It'd be cool to have them all, most of them, especially the energy one. Energy one's super cool. So anyway, go check that out. And there will be some new merch coming up, I think before Thursday, before the next show, that you will want. So go to Dragonchain.store, do that. And in closing, make sure you watch us again next Tuesday. Make sure you watch the shows on, tomorrow and Thursday. There's a ton of new info that might be discussed around the goings on in the crypto world. So make sure you watch that, keep up to date, and bring us questions. Also follow Dragonchain Real Denizens and Jojo Row on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on Den. Make sure you like, comment, and share. And that's it. Thanks. Bye.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best. Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.